right, so I don't have the time to, nor would I have enough substance or character enough to properly make a Let's Play series of this entire game, going through the entire campaign and everything, right? And also, there isn't much of a story in the campaign. I mean, that certainly has some upsides, right? And this isn't new to Forza, especially Forza Horizon. Like, people have been complaining about the campaign because, like I said just now, it doesn't have a story. But I think an upside people aren't talking about here is there's more gameplay congruent with the campaign. The campaign consists of more gameplay. That's not all bad. Nothing lasts forever, and this game certainly doesn't. You know, you can blast through the campaign pretty quick if you want to, as you can tell, as you can see. And there's not really much story there. There's not. But is it bad? No, I don't think so. Oh, I apparently didn't do a speed trap. Another thing, dude, they need more cars. That's another thing I dislike. They do not have enough cars. They just don't. 500 is nothing to scoff at. It's certainly a number we should be happy with. When it comes to a new Forza Horizon, especially one that's made a price leap. Like, I'm not going to be black and white about this complaint. Overall, it is a complaint.
Setting off every speed trap in Japan. That is impressive. Go check your journal.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. There's the wheel spin. And the M2 Forza edition for getting everything done. So I think overall, the amount of cars that they launched with, like, it's fair to complain about that, but when complaining about it, it should be something you're happy with, but also something you want more of at the same time. Like, I'm happy with the amount of cars they released on the launch, with the launch of the game, but I also feel they should have more cars. They definitely should. That's a crazy pull. I think the map is really good. I think the map is pretty damn big. Like, I think we should be really appreciative about the map. It's really good. I like it. It's got a lot on it. Let me summarize real quick. So, the story doesn't have a lot of substance, but there's a lot of gameplay there as well. It might not tell the most brilliant story, but there's gameplay that you do enjoy and can make last consistently for weeks. You can play consistently for weeks and still have more to do. The cars, while there is a good selection, they could have more, absolutely. It does feel like the selection is a little narrow in terms of car categories, like car types. There's also the fact that the game will get more content over time. But there's still plenty to enjoy and be grateful for in the game, in that regard. Map is great, spacious, fun to drive on, lots of very nice sights, very nice. The music, I'm not too big on the music. It's Japanese music, of course. A lot of their culture's music, it's just not my thing. It's just not my preference. In terms of music, there are story things you can do around the map. A couple here that I've completed, a couple I haven't. These are pretty fun. They all have like 2 sections, I think, multiple sections for the most part. Like you do one thing and then you do another thing as part of the same chapter or whatever. Yeah. The Horizon wristband events, I think those are pretty good. I do think there are a couple issues with the wristband events. I think the biggest one is you always win right at the end of the race. Like, this rubber banding, like, you see it, it's the same reason I don't feel increasing the difficulty of the drive tires is actually worth it, because of the rubber banding. And so what happens there is, if it, like, you win a couple races, right, it's like, oh, do you want to increase the difficulty of driver tires? You're winning too easy. And the reward is, ooh, 20% more credits. Or, no, you don't even get that. It just says, do you want to up the difficulty by 20% or whatever? The actual boosting credits you get is like 5% boosting credits. So you'll do that, but then the NPCs, the driver tires, will be so unbelievably difficult, it'll take like 3 or 4 times doing the same race. And then the rubber band effect comes in, and then the NPCs are like, okay, we'll let you win now, I guess. Like, obviously we're too hard. And then you can barely beat what was giving you issues before, like not having room to actually catch up. If we do the math here, you're doing like an extra 2 or 3 attempts at the same race, and then when you do beat it, you get like, what, 5% more credits? It's just not worth the extra time. And the same thing happens on these wristband events. You go through the whole race. Most of the time for me, it just looks like I'm gonna lose, and then right at the last minute I win. That's how it usually goes for me. Other than that, all the events are great. The game is great and all, but yeah, like I said, the story doesn't have a whole lot of substance to it. I don't even have a problem with the rubber banding inherently as a feature itself, both before and after the patch to fix things like Bowie Knife 99 being an absolute fucking legend. It's just that when it constantly asks you to increase the difficulty to get more credit, and then it goes from being a challenge into an impossibility to pass and get first place, until like after multiple races the rubber banding comes in and is like, okay, yeah, we're gonna let you win now. Well, yeah, it kind of becomes evident and annoying that upping the difficulty isn't really worth it. Like, it's not. If it makes any sort of sense, even if there's not too much of a story, not a strong story, the gameplay within the campaign is very strong. I think that's an even better way of saying it, actually. How am I gonna keep the game alive for me after finishing the campaign? Of course, I still have a few more things I could do for completionism. I can keep up with the festival playlist and get rewards here. And obviously they will release more DLC and stuff, right? That I will automatically get because I got the Ultimate Edition, right? Like, I'm obviously gonna try to stay interactive with the game and engaged because it, you know, is a lot of money, and I do really like it, but there are things here that are limiting. It's like, hey, how am I gonna continue to stay engaged at the same time? It's pretty easy to point out the likes and dislikes of this game overwhelmingly. Likes that have consensus and dislikes that have consensus. They're easy to recognize, which makes it more stressful when you get certain issues. Like, a good example would be my first 10 streams of this game. I was struggling to get my microphone to record. And my game audio to persist. Either my game audio would drop out or my microphone would drop out. As it turns out, my audio interface for my microphone, powering it, was pulling audio from the same place in my computer as the game was, causing an audio driver conflict. It wasn't my Bluetooth device, it wasn't other drivers, it wasn't this or that. It was a conflict between my microphone and the game. And OBS, or whatever. And so I had to download a virtual audio mixer, Voice Meter Banana. And then run my microphone through there as a source into OBS, like using the virtual audio mixer as the source in OBS instead of just my microphone default. And that fixed the issue and allowed me to record and have present game audio and microphone audio with no issues. And this shouldn't happen. This is only a result of these big game studios being really lazy. I do think this game is the ideal balance of simulation and arcade. When it comes to a Forza game, like everything they've executed very well from Forza Horizon 1 throughout 6. But the thing is, I think people are just expecting a little bit more. I think there's been too much fear to try and do more, expand in different aspects that would make the game better with certain things. And of course, you're not going to want to go too far out there in terms of ideas, new mechanics, story, anything like that. And you are only going to have so much time. I just feel like they've tried too hard to make the game better in the same ways they've already been trying to. And this goes for a lot of franchises, but especially Forza. The street and toga races were quite reminiscent of Need for Speed Carbon, enough to bring back that nostalgia. They're very similar in how they look, how they play, actually. Like canyon duels compared to the street and toga races. Very fun, very fun. I'm gonna have to play that game. I think this game does a pretty good and tolerable job of actually getting you to play and unlock and buy different cars. It can feel annoying when you want to go into a race and use a certain car, but it forces you to use different cars. I think these feelings are unjust, and there are lots of races that you do get to use whatever you want, no restrictions. I think it forces you away from what you would normally choose just enough to force a change in perspective, a change in heart when it comes to stipulation of races. Stipulation and parameter of races. Like what class, what car type you can use. I can honestly say that I've completed this game more than I have any other Forza Horizon game since Forza Horizon 2. very easy to get lost in this game. But they definitely need to try more new things that one would think to be relevant to expanding this game. Like, we understand you can't do everything, you can't make everyone happy, you can't please everybody. And you also can't have everything in your game. Like Invincible, it gets so much praise for its story, but undoubtedly it is inconsistent at times. Can't make these things black and white, but to some degree it is, you can have one or the other. Basically what I'm trying to say is everything has strengths and weaknesses, ups and downs, pros and cons. Everything's a trade-off. So when planning a game, when putting one together, obviously you're only going to be able to brainstorm so many ideas. Like, you're gonna, especially if it's a sequel of a game, if it's an anticipated main series sequel, yeah, you're going to be putting energy towards getting right what you got right before. You're going to be trying to put energy towards adding new things. There's going to be a lot of management going on, and you can only do so good. Like, you're just not going to be able to put energy toward every single thing that you want to. You're not going to have time. You're not going to be able to come up with everything that everybody would want in the game. That's just a tall order. Sometimes too much energy goes towards trying to get things right that already were, and then you don't have more of what people want. As good of a game as this actually is, we can't forget that this game is huge, the corporation is huge, and this is the 6th game in the franchise. It has excellent gameplay and great car sound and visuals. But I just don't understand how we don't have more added to the progression, like new things entirely, and a stronger, more compelling story. Like, how do we not have these things? Nothing beats this game visually, though, that's for sure. That's for sure. A time trial. Already missed. That was really good. Let's go, dude. 56.7. And I'll take that. Got a drift zone. Yeah, this game can keep you engaged a little bit. But they need new rewards cars, though. Like, they need cars that you can only get from these events. And it doesn't look like that's the case. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much my general thoughts on Forza Horizon 6. I think that the game is really good. I think that the complaints that one should have for this game have more to do with what hasn't been done for the game rather than what has been done. What has been done for the game is so good, man. Like, it's better than ever. I get why some people say, oh, it's just an FH5 expansion pack. But at the same time, no, it is better. Like, and it's different. Like I say, none of the music is really my thing. But that's okay. I can just turn on music and play Forza and not have the radio on in the game. There's not an absolute ton of cars yet, but I'm sure there will be, maybe more than Horizon 5 soon enough. But yeah, if you want to play a particular car from a different game, you can go and play those games still. Like, you can still play other Forza Horizon games, or go back and play Need for Speed Carbon. I plan on. Like, you can't expect them to get every license for every manufacturer for every car that you want to see in the game. That's just not gonna happen. Even if only slightly in some ways, it's still an upgrade. There's gonna be lots to come in terms of content. I don't think it's wrong to want a little bit more, but it is good to stay humble. That's pretty much my feelings. If you'd like, you certainly may check out my other stuff. Server link's gonna be in the description if interested. It's not much, but it's something. My name, when transcribed, directly means conquer. You may help me realize this by subscribing. Cheers. I'm out. I'm gone.